Senator McEachin.
President, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President and members of the Senate, we've had a lot of opportunities to reflect these past couple of weeks, and my mind has actually wandered back to when I served in the other body and when I had the privilege of serving with our governor in that body. And I recall a time when we coined a phrase in that body called the SOLs. And of course, we weren't talking about the standards of learning, we were talking about the standards of leadership. And Mr. President, I have to tell you that I'm a little bit concerned with the standards of leadership that I'm seeing from the third floor at this juncture. We have a $4 billion budget to fill. We have a governor now who has been in office as long as any other governor has been, who has submitted their reflections on the budget as it stands. Senator Hurt just mentioned the economic recovery plan that the governor laid out. Well, these $4 billion in cuts, I'd like to see those before I praise that plan, because I suspect those $4 billion in cuts are going to cost us some jobs. And I think before we start cheering about that plan, we need to see the whole plan in its entirety. And that leads me to another subject on the standards of leadership, and that is this. I read in the Washington Post yesterday that the governor may be backing away from giving us those budget cuts, that he may be talking just to the money committees about those cuts. Well, Mr. President, we live in a democracy, and those $4 billion worth of cuts are going to have to be decided on every member of this body, and our constituents need to know about those cuts. So I would encourage the new occupant of the third floor not to have those discussions just with the money committees, not to have those discussions just in rooms tucked away in this Capitol, but to let us all know where he stands on that. And Mr. President, I got to tell you, I have a problem with the notion that he says he's only been a governor a short while and he can't get it all together in this short period of time. Never mind the fact that other governors have done the very same thing. This governor knew what he was signing up for when he ran for this office. He ran for this office for months, if not years. It is unfair. I just can't get my mind around the concept that he hasn't had enough time to put together what he feels are the realistic cuts. I'll tell you another reason I have a difficult problem with that concept, Mr. President. Tonight, by virtue of the fact that he is governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, he's been called on to give a response to the State of the Union. He's going to give a response on the State of the Union after being governor for only a few weeks on a country that goes from sea to shining sea. He's going to be talking about, or potentially talking about, a budget that's got $1 trillion deficit. He's going to be talking about, or potentially talking about, wars in foreign countries. He's had enough time, Mr. President, to be able to talk about the State of the Union, but he hasn't had enough time to be able to tell me in the 9th Senate District and my colleagues on this floor about the $4 billion in cuts. Mr. President, make no mistake about it. I need this governor to succeed. We cannot afford him to fail, but right now he's coming up short on the standards of leadership. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir.